day. Go disco. Let's go. It's loading. I think I broke it. I don't know what I did because I opened it in admin mode. Oh, fix. Oh, I think we're good. Okay. Now let's continue. um, so got the thing, and we're gonna go give it to the lady, or wait. What did I do? Everard. Oh yeah, I'm trying to figure out why she couldn't hear anything. Eh. I think I need more stats or something to do it, so let's go do something else for now. Where are we at for checks? Challenging, heroic, legendary. I hate this fucking thing. There we go. Go do measure head. I guess. When I looked at the thing, there wasn't anything I could do, right?
You take the legal documents out of the envelope.
Oh, yeah.
12 to 14.
I don't know where we're supposed to go to do that. No idea. Maybe in the house or something, or... I think this is the wrong way.
You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month construction period and the zoning plan in the addendum.
It's a red check. Cannot be retried. Well, time to cheat.
You take the legal documents out of the pen is shaking in your hand as you draw a pathetic little line. It appears you have drawn a line instead of a signature. A puny line. Look, no, it's just a line. Forgery obviously isn't your strong...
Oh. I just want to forge the thingamabobber.
You take the legal documents out of the pen is shaking in your...
I'll try one more time, and if it doesn't work, we'll do something.
You take the legal document. The youth center cuts into the ocean. The pen is shaking in your hand.
Jesus. Alright, let's go talk to Measurehead, I guess. I don't know. I wonder what's past him, if we already got through there. Don't know. Ice Bear Fridge is the location.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
I think this racist is...
That will be the... Hmm?
That is understandable. The previous racist...
These cops are just jealous, Jean-Luc.
Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little. Mr. Claire is a man. Also, to serve is noble. It takes jam, individualism. You have gotten these ideas. Of course it does. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has the South Island. I am a descendant. No. I have heard about it on the radio. I'm from Cour. You have heard enough about our phylogenetic secret. I am...
You pick up on something odd.
The heart. Now leave me be. Fine.
Interesting.
Racist.
The drawings are precise and look true to their pseudo-scientific ambitions. One thing, however...
You exhibit forward projection. It is this leads your racial...
He's right there. It's almost...
Racist.
The drawings are precise.
Your silence betrays your inferiority. Your race descent has only worsened.
Am I not supposed to... Can I not push him or whatever? I don't even know, man.
Hola, Wandering Man. The mercenary, eh?
The man whispered.
The mercenary. That's so. He was an agent. I ain't the murderer.
He believes the...
Understood.
No problem.
Right to work! Right! We were promised work. Main gate's locked, and I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. Why don't you go arrest them instead? I'm sure they've done plenty of criminal shit. They have that look.
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home. At least for now. If you can't get in anyway.
No! They will give up eventually.
He seems to be following his orders well enough for now. But beneath it all, there is a boiling rage. And a dangerous carelessness. Do not be fooled by the programming. There is a precarious balance inside him, keeping him in check. But it's shaky as hell.
Free flow of commerce!
Don't talk to him any longer. Just leave, please. The man's breathing. You take the legal documents out of the pen is shaking in your hand as you... The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late King Friesel. From the sides of his head, a pair of white antlers spread to the corners of the cover. Because Friesel was incompetent, foolish, and cruel. In short, the embodiment of everything the communards wished to overthrow. It's satire, you see. To your disappointment, there aren't any full-color pictures to direct your attention. Just column after column of closely set text, interrupted occasionally by little doodles in black and white.
Maybe? Yes, I'm gonna go grab that. Oh, fuck. I'll be right back. I decided that for the first time I would get a lot of nuggets, so I did.
No advertisements, you notice.
Wait, why am I playing
So
on the
who's
controller?
funding this radical commentary?
What? What's going on with me?
After rifling the pages with your thumb several times, you return to the table of contents. The magazine is divided into several sections: international development, Kunst und Kultur, and local concerns. Just inside the cover, there's also an editor's note. Comrade, as you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, Du cristal a la fumée. This was his way of describing the way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turn to smoke under communism. But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going a la fumée. Unlike many publications which are content to spoon-feed their readers reassuring drivel, La Fumée is committed to telling the radical truth, even when that truth may drive away potential subscribers. Only 4 issues in, and it sounds like they've already alienated their readership. Perhaps they've overestimated the market demand for this kind of commentary. So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today.
What do you expect? It was laying around the office of the Debarders Union. They're probably bankrolling the thing.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you. This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPIS nations and the Free State of Semenine. You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the Messina border, something about bear wrestling in Samara, book riots in Yugograd. Face it, you really aren't interested in foreign affairs. You're not even sure where most of these countries are. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you. It takes a moment, but gradually it dawns on you that Kunst und Kultur must mean arts and culture. Why they decided to title this one section in Volda is beyond you. Obviously because it's cool to drop random phrases in foreign languages. It evokes a sense of recognition and fellowship among those privileged enough to understand. As you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews of recent radio plays, as well as a brief artist spotlight featuring a local artist identified only as CS. The main feature, though, is a long essay titled Tip Top Tournée, a critical Mazovian perspective. The Tip Top Tournée is an inter-Isolari racing series, mostly known for its high speeds, ludicrous sponsorship deals, and high death toll. In Revachol, it's held quadrennially on the prestigious Zero Carousel racing circuit. This so-called artist spotlight is really just a brief Q&A, made all the briefer by the subject's evident hostility to her interviewer.
Now,
You think you're settling in for a relaxing recap of the most recent season, maybe sprinkled with some nice anecdotes about a few of the more colorful drivers. Instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000-word feature about all the politically problematic aspects of Tip Top Tourney. Where to even start? For one, there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorships, and then there's the practically criminal emphasis on deadly motor crashes. Oddly enough, this article has 2 bylines, Nasteb Encolada Bernal and Exilus Buka. There's no way those are real names. Have you ever met anyone named Exilus? Come on, they're plainly pseudonyms. Under capitalism, the article says, every pursuit has its price. Every pleasure, even one as elemental as the joy of racing others around a track, is reduced to an advertising opportunity. Thus, the so-called tourney becomes a competition between increasingly meaningless brand signifiers. Your discount laundry detergent racing against a pack of Astra cigarettes, or even a Fritta. And that precisely is what's problematic about it. Were it not for the promise of random, spectacular violence, audiences would quickly lose interest. At the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000 real races that you're really watching for. Sure, you think that, but subconsciously, it's the visions of brand names being engulfed in flames that you crave. This flimsy magazine is right. Deep down, you know the only true stakes are life and glory, or death by fiery dismemberment. That's because you haven't been reading critically. But don't worry. The whole point of these sorts of articles is to let someone else read critically for you.
Oh, come on. Can this article read your mind? A certain kind of young man reads 1 or 2 books and suddenly thinks he understands the secret structures of reality. If I had to wager, I'd say they've never even seen the inside of a motor, much less a motor race. I take whatever they write with a large grain of salt.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you. Unsurprisingly, much of this section is taken up with articles declaring unqualified support for the dockworkers' strike. You skim the headlines. Paint the harbor red and white. Martinez tames the wild pines. A city in revolt. First we take Martinez, then we take La Delta. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Cape Side apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent.
That's funny. Charging rent just to live somewhere is pretty outrageous.
The writer G. Martin remarks dryly that capitalists love wealth redistribution, so long as it's only redistributed upward. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
That's enough book reading for one day. Hmm. Not a lot to do.
It's you again. What is it?
I don't know what to do. Okay, or I guess I'll read books.
The Greatest Innocence by João Paulo Salomão Lopes de Fuego. The book is large and heavy. Browsing through the various chapters, you try your best to understand the ceaseless overflow, the sprawl of names, dates, places, events historical. Most of it ends up as a twisted mass of facts inside your brain. Your educational survey is done. Did you catch any of that? No. Oh well, it's pop quiz time. Let's see what you've learned. This might take a few minutes. That's the spirit. Here we go. Question 1. Who was the first innocence? Oh yeah, this is what I was made for. A pop quiz is a short examination designed to test your knowledge without any prior warning or announcement. Such exams allow the teacher to assess how thoroughly the students have retained the material at hand. Voila. Now blast that first innocence. Thanks for nothing. Dolores Day. Dolores. Incorrect. Dolores Day was the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. She codified parliamentary democracy and created modern institutions. Among these, the moral intern, she was powerful and beautiful on all her icons. Her colors are silver, white, and apricot. And when you think her name, Dolores, stomach acid rises to the back of your throat, and it hurts. You see a flash silver, a wreath, an airport bag, and blonde hair. You don't know why. Another choice, perhaps?
Hola?
Incorrect. Sola was anointed during the previous century and even lived to see the current one. She was an urban planner who spoke her mind and largely left history to its own devices, encouraging people to excel on their own rather than prescribing to a deified model of history. She is often called an anti-innocence. Sola resigned after an assassination attempt by a Yugo nationalist who blamed her for not taking the side of the left during the turn-of-the-century revolutions. Innocences don't usually resign. Care to try again? Correct. Nothing much is known about him. It's not even clear that he was a he, but Franco Negro presumed as such and called him Pius. He's depicted as a young man with molten gold pouring out of his mouth. All he spoke was gold. It's said he invented God and equality of men before God. He also introduced the gold standard as a way for measuring people's love for Aurum. As the first innocence, he declared that there should be more of those like him. It is presumed his disciples were the beginning of the Holy Party, the founding party. Question 2. Who was the strongest innocence? Easy. Everybody knows the answer to this. You, me, anybody. An innocence is the highest category of historical personage in the world, a literal personification of history. Traditionally, an innocence, when anointed, assumes supreme rule over the Occident or the known world in general. At least the parts that matter. I can do better. Okay, so commonly, an innocence does not enforce his or her power through military power. This is seen as unnecessary. The innocence wins because an innocence can't help but win, for their deeds are inevitabilities. Did this help? Damn. Dolores. Incorrect again. While she originated many modern institutions, launched several successful expeditions, and was even critical of the innocentic system itself, and somehow keeps popping up in your mind, she is not often considered the strongest, even though the words most associated with her rule are l'amour, la compassion, La autodiscipline, love, compassion, self-control, which could be seen as facets of strength. Would you like to try again? Who knows? You feel like you lost her somehow. When she left the earth, the dust, and the ice, and the humans. This is unimportant to the quiz. Stop thinking about this. Yes, the quiz is impersonal. Incorrect. Vespa Messina is not a person, but a defunct state on the southeastern coast of the Occident. It used to take up most of the peninsula before separating into the republics of Vespa and Messina. Care to try again? Correct. Named the innocence of militarism, he codified hereditary rule, but at the same time ended serfdom and established the Inter-Isolari Real as the global reserve currency. He also established the concept of the nation. Franco Negro attempted to solve the rising tensions between the aristocracy and bourgeoisie by building a unified society in which every man has a place and a mission, but at the same time may rise to nobility provided on the strength of his virtue. Question 3. Who was the false innocence? Got it under control. No problem. Solid on this one. It's widespread historical information. Yes, there exists a group called the Founding Party, known as the Holy Party, during the time of the Pericarnacian. This, the world's oldest international organization, spends its time in search of either the re-emergence of the innocents or new members. There seems to be a mix-up with the sources. It's not my fault. At least it clearly wasn't Dolores Day. She wouldn't be false. She's beautiful. Incorrect. Stepan the Despicable, regent of Kedra, was a ruler who conquered the known world during the Kedriatic conquest, instead of the despotic Erno Pasternak. Would you try again? Correct. There have been a number of counter or false innocences, some assumed to have innocentic qualities, some who just thought so themselves. Occasionally, they have the support of a faction inside the ecclesiastic organization, and accusations of foul play have arisen. The most famous and important of these was Ernau Pasternak. He was into torture, despotism, hymns, cannons, and world conquest, but got defeated and humiliated by Stepan the Despicable of Kedra. Final stretch. You've come so far and learned so much. This is the most important. I've got it, honest. Of course, this is my thing, the reason I exist in this world. The correct answer is Franco Negro. 0 doubts. While it was actually her. Incorrect. While Franco Negro built concrete churches and cathedrals, and while many people, especially... Oh yes, yes. Incorrect. Correct. The Mesk might see Franco Negro as the father of nations, but as of this century, there's been a great shift in attitude. Dolores Day has become widely regarded as the greatest innocence. A most radical change to the whole fabric of the world. Everything from inter-isolary travel to the connected world to 3 consecutive scientific revolutions can be traced back to her. Every decade that passes, she seems less human somehow, and more beautiful, and more beautiful, and more beautiful. Congratulations on finishing the test. The results and your subsequent grade have been calculated. You get an F for failure. Ha ha ha. You would have done better if you just left Dolores Day for the end. Dial the Dolores Day down a bit.
What's going on with you? Okay.
You are shouting at an inanimate object. Medicinal purposes of the Pearl. The cover of this heavy tome features a number of esoteric symbols. Flipping through the book, you find a number of sections on the general benefits of the Pearl. A large pharmacopoeia makes up nearly half of the book.
What's a pharmacopoeia?
you come across the following explanation. While modern pharmacopoeia are continually updated by so-called experts based on the results of clinical trials, readers will find assembled here the timeless wisdom relied upon by generations of traditional Seolite medicine practitioners, Mesk mystics, and Ilmaran folk doctors. It's all quackery, in other words. It seems to contain descriptions of the medicinal properties of various ingredients that may be gathered from the pale, as well as instructions for producing a variety of herbal remedies. There are a number of Seolite tonics that promise to improve your short-term memory, but nothing that speaks to your condition. What you're describing is booze. You don't need any herbs for that. There's nothing in here that speaks to hangovers directly. However, while browsing through the various descriptions, you become convinced that you could assemble something from the ingredients list. First, you need to choose a base ingredient. Next, you'll need to combine the base ingredient with an appropriate vehicle. Lastly, is there anything else you'd like to add? The combination of mint and birch bark make this tea relaxing and good for the digestion. It won't do much for your hangover though. Would you like to try again? Very well. Next, you'll need to combine the base ingredient. Lastly, the ginger root will help with the nausea, and the birch bark tea will help you flush out the toxins. The ginseng should give you more energy as a nice bonus. From the pale, of course, or perhaps from some enterprising entrepreneur, where you would find one of those though. The book does not say. Very well. Next, you'll need to combine the basic. Lastly, you've created a delicious tincture of whiskey and ginger. According to the pharmacopoeia, if only you could find one of these right now and drink the shit out of it. The book said it's good for you, so it would be okay. Would you like to try again? Very well. Next, you'll need to combine. Lastly, is there anything else? You've created a delicious tincture of whiskey and ginger. If only you could. Would you like to try again? Very well. Next, you'll need. Lastly, you've created a delicious tincture. If only. Would you like to try again? You close the book and find yourself staring at the familiar cover once more.
Curious about this.
Very well. Next, lastly, you've created a If only. Would you like to try? Very well. Next, lastly, you've created. If only. Would you like to? You close the book.
Okay.
In your hands, you hold a brand new. The cover. The exact look. Good thinking.
What's important here? Need perception.
It's getting late.
Good night, officer.
This medicine cabinet is stocked.
Oh.
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions pertaining to a murder investigation. Ah, yes. The night before I saw you in the hallway and reminded you you're a police officer. Wow. Elysium. You don't hear that term often. There was the usual ruckus. Loud disco music. I can't say. Probably not. Sounded... Oh, yes. Various artists. Ostentatious orchestrations prime among them.
Oh, that? Yeah. Whoa. The less said about OO, the better.
Oh, were huge where I come from. I was very young then, of course, like 7. Life gets hard, but we go on. I don't know about that. At around 2 o'clock, the disco stopped and there was a change of pace. A slow, sad song started playing, like organ music on repeat. That went on for quite a while. Some of that time you were yelling along to it. Yes, there was a church in there. A really small church. Like the smallest, saddest church in the whole world. It was about that. And also that it doesn't matter anymore and that we're alone now. It was difficult to tell. The song itself was very quiet and soft, but you sounded like a wounded boar, sir. It was hard to understand what you were singing on top of it. Then you started screaming and trashed the place. No, it didn't sound like there was a fight. It sounded like someone was trashing their room. A window was smashed, the tape player probably, the song stopped. And furniture too. A real destructathon. There was screaming. Then I think you passed out. There was. I think you screamed that you didn't want to be this type of animal anymore. I may have misheard, but it was sort of memorable. I went out afterwards. Everything was quiet by then. Around 4 or 5. And that was it. No problem, sir.
The lieutenant's door is closed. No response. What are you doing? Still, no response. Where is he? Isn't it party o'clock? Is he not worried that you haven't found the murder weapon yet? Doesn't he want to go for a little drive? You hear the sound of a drawer closing. followed by the shuffling of feet.
Is that you, Harry? What time is it?
No, thou art God.
Very funny. What do you want? Yes, that's a good idea. Let's do it in the morning. You know, when we are not sleeping.
Sleep is what he needs most right now.
Good night, Harry.
Oh. Okay.
Hey, was there something you need? Got the 20 real? Then why? Another thing. Great. I love those. Why? No, fuck it. I don't want to know. I don't want to know why these degenerates do what they do. I thought we had one good guest in the building. Yeah, well, she's not a guest, is she?
Oh, no.
Anyway, I'll forward that woman her bill and be done with it. Now, was there anything else? Yes?
Hi again, gendarme. Bye-bye, gendarme.
I've got nothing to say to you. Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon, I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's on your mind, officer?
Get the drink on. It would be unimaginable.
Alcohol?
She doesn't even understand. It's getting cold. It's getting cold. The bed is comforting. The place feels almost like home now, quiet and dignified around you. A new life by the seaside. You're incredibly tired. The darkness and warmth come fast. You're falling asleep.
It's easier this time. Drifting off, your head has found
This respite. You've earned it, brother. Bask in the darkness. No, this is the one before that.
enjoy it while
You're welcome.
after centuries.
Go.
Alright, let's get it. Other hats do. McMullen hat, yeah.
Yes? What about me? No.
The lieutenant nods.
Good.
You take the legal documents out of them. With a confident flourish, you complete your forgery. What do you see on the signature line? Indeed, they look distinctly different and very convincing. These might as well be their actual signatures, but they're not, and the document will be nullified if they dispute it. That means Everard will have to start over.
Ooh.
All you need to do now is mail the signatures to Everart's accountant in La Delta. There was a mail delivery box in the plaza, near the corner of the... You take the legal document.
Oh, sorry, officer. What do you...
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffito and bullet.
Yes, for sending mail.
You drop the white envelope. About a week's worth of mail as collected in there. Probably did the right thing.
All right, let's go back to...
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull...
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist? Yes. It took some convincing, but I got the mercenary's name and a few biographical details. Are you ready?
The lieutenant leans in to listen.
That suit of armor was issued to an Oranese citizen named Ellis Cortenaer. That's E-L-L-I-S K-O-R-T-E-N-A-I-R. Exact date of birth, unknown. He was signed into the Lelystad County Neonatal Care Unit on 28th of February. He was found as a newborn in a leaf compactor near an abandoned farm. He spent 4 months in the neonatal unit, survived apparently, and was assigned to a foster family at 2. This is what the ICP knows about him. He was raised by foster parents, entered the East Brand Military Academy in Vredefort at 17, then served in the Oranese forces till he was honorably discharged in 41, just a year before the Seminese conflict. Then the armor followed him to Seminine, or at least I assume it did. And that's it. There are no records of his employment in Crenel, or any of its other incarnations, or him even entering Revachol. It's a garden tool used to press leaves into these cubes. It's a detail the hospital had, the only detail in these files. So I thought it would be good for you to know.
It is. Thank you, Alice.
None, officer. Sorry.
Even that is a small miracle. These organizations usually double-check their inventory. Thank you, Alice. Great work.
No problem, Lieutenant.
The name. This is very good. Ellis Cortenard.
Sometimes police work is about human dignity, about giving back names to anonymous victims.
I'm glad the inquiry was helpful to your investigation, officer.
I can go tell, what's her name his name. Awesome. I probably should have called somewhere else, too.
Steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out
Let's see what I want to upgrade, really.
the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Exposure. Phasing. Volition. See. Maybe can't upgrade my suggestion. Let's go with composure.
This is Precinct 50. This is Sylvie. Yes. Oh, great. What else do you need, detective? No? Not me? No, sorry. People don't have...
Seems like Glacia wasn't lying when she said it was her. This corroborates her story. She is of the fairest of them all.
The ugliness of lies would never escape her.
No, sorry. People don't have...
Seems like
She is a...
Yeah, go. You mean, why did I leave? You know.
You think you hear us? Don't be paranoid. She's...
I really don't want to talk about this. Maybe, I don't know. Please, no. You were trying to...
Sounds like it's going to be...
You were waiting...
Oh, those again. I have been trying to wean you off. You know, when you put your gun, your actual gun, on your temple and pretend to shoot your brains out. Some poor sod was trying to eat his pudding while you were screaming, spit flying, imitating the mercy shot. Right? People tried to back away from you, or even slip out of the door. But you screamed, I am the goddamned law, and you have to listen to me. You are all suspects in a murder investigation.
No, it almost... No? Yeah, go on.
I know we didn't accomplish much today, but I'm going to cut my stream short to play a video game with a friend, so... Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I just went to launch it and I went, oh.
Uh, it just gives you the option to uninstall.
That's so funny. I didn't even have it installed yet.
Well,
Or
that's
you can
sad.
keep it installed until December 16th.
That is fucking a while from now.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to do a beta, I guess.
I mean, the that new Vermintide game, I keep forgetting what the name, Dark Tide. That one only had a beta for like 3 days. This one was at least, I think it was for a week or
Well,
something.
no, that I understand, but they're like, all right, we'll bring back another beta. Don't you worry.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, what do you want to play?
Video games.
Video game.
You can choose what if you want. I don't know. Yeah. Playing. Oh, I'm still streaming.